Children's Christmas Story, Chapter 2. Now, back at the buzzard's nest, Banning asks, "Did that really happen, Grandpa?" "Sure did, kids. As I said, I was there. I saw the whole thing. I remember it like it was yesterday," says old Hannes, and his memory now takes us back to Nazareth once again. "I was working for Herod back then, the king. It was census time. That's when we count up all the people to make sure that everybody pays their taxes. I was responsible for Nazareth." "That's where we live," says Clancy. "That's right," says old Hannes. "As I was saying, it was early in the morning when I entered the town square, and who do you think I saw?" Both kids answer at the same time. "Jesus? Santa Claus?" "No," says old Hannes, laughing. "Not Jesus, and not Santa Claus either. It was my good friend, Emmitt the donkey. Only back then, we weren't such good friends. Emmitt was very unhappy back in those days. All he thought about was money and how to get more of it. He would lie, cheat, steal, anything to get his hands on more money. So he walks up to me and says, 'What do you want now, Buzzard? Every time I see you, it's bad news. The king needs new wheels. The king needs a new crib. What now?' 'Oh, quit your crying, donkey,' says old Hannes. 'You've got more money than anybody in town, and all you do is complain.' But now that you mention it, the king does need something. He needs an accurate count of all the people in his kingdom, and that includes your people and their pets." "Who you calling a pet, day old squirrel breath?" says Emmitt, wincing at the smell of Buzzard's breath. Old Hannes, chuckling, says, "Yeah, the road was pretty good to me last night. The squirrel was to die for. Get it?" "Yeah, I get it." "Hilarious," says Emmitt. "Anyway," says old Hannes, "you've got to take your people up to Bethlehem pronto." That means now, donkey." "I know what it means, you scavenger," says Emmitt. "Your boss wants more of my hard-earned cash. But today doesn't work for me. I'm right in the middle of a high-paying gig, and I'm not losing out on it." "Today, donkey. Bethlehem. Order of the king. Get going," says old Hannes. Grumbling as he walks toward his home, Emmitt says, "I don't believe this. Bethlehem? Today? What a waste of time and money." And he fades into the distance. As chapter 3 begins, we're still in Nazareth. As old Hannes sits in a tree, he sees Emmitt, Mary, and Joseph leaving Nazareth on their way to Bethlehem. Mary's on Emmitt's back. Joseph walks at their side. Old Hannes flies down and walks with them for a bit. "So, Emmitt, old boy," says old Hannes with a smile, "why the long face?" "Oh, brother," says Emmitt, "I've never heard that one before. Why the long face, donkey? You know, Buzzard, you really could use a little oral hygiene. Is that a tail stuck in your teeth?" "A what? Where? Did I miss something?" "Excuse me," says old Hannes, turning away and sticking a claw between his teeth. He then turns back and spits a small tail at Emmitt's feet. "There. Better?" Emmitt is disgusted, but not surprised. He says, "Nice. Hey, where is this Bethlehem place anyway?" "Not too far if you're flying," replies old Hannes. "On foot, it'll take you a while. Just take this road here, and you'll be there before you know it. It's a small, nondescript little town. No one will even remember it 10 minutes from now. Not much in the way of accommodations, as I recall. I'd take a sleeping bag if I were you." "Sleeping bag!" exclaims Emmitt. "You know, I've been on this road before. Nothing but rocks and steep climbs. And have you seen Mary lately? Not exactly a light load, know what I'm saying? I'll never make it." "Do tell," says old Hannes, pulling out a road map and smiling. "Now, let's see here. Just in case you don't make it, where do you think you'll be around, let's say dinner time?" Emmitt brushes the map away from his face. "Never you mind, Buzzard. On your way. I got places to be, and on your dinner plate ain't one of them." At that, old Hannes stops walking and watches Emmitt, Mary, and Joseph continue down the road. "See you later, donkey," says old Hannes, laughing. Chapter 4. Back at the buzzard's nest, a wide-eyed Banning asks, "Were you really going to eat Mr. Donkey, Grandpa?" Laughing, old Hannes says, "Oh, probably not, kids. He's more mouth than meat. Just then, who walks through the door but Emmitt, Mr. Donkey. Who you calling all mouth, you old buzzard, says Emmitt. That's right. I've been on the front porch listening the whole time. Heard the whole thing. He then turns toward the kids and smiles. Hi, kids. Mr. Donkey, they scream happily, and they run up and give Emmitt a big hug. So, says Emmitt to old Hannes, Christmas story, huh? You're telling the kids? You're going to like this story, kids. Changed my life. And yours. Emmitt takes a seat and continues. Sorry to interrupt, old Hannes. Go right ahead with your story. Thank you, Emmitt, says old Hannes. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Emmitt was just leaving Nazareth, taking Mary and Joseph up to Bethlehem. Meanwhile, King Herod, my boss, gets wind of the angel visiting Mary and gets all bent out of shape. And that's the end of chapter 4.